Good afternoon. Today we are going to read a book called The Littlest Matryoshka. Does anyone know what a matryoshka is? If you guessed this, you are correct. Matryoshka is a Russian stacking doll. They're handmade and handcrafted, I should say, in Russia, and each fits one inside the other. They're designed according to the social status of the family they are to represent. And as you can see, these all go inside one another and they all have the same colors and patterns on them. So let's take a look inside. The Littlest Matryoshka by Corinne Demas Bliss and illustrated by Catherine Brown. In a small shop in a snowy village in Russia, Nikolai, the doll maker, was carving his last matryoshka. From one piece of soft wood, he shaped 6 nesting dolls, each one fitting inside the other. They all opened in the middle and were hollow inside, except for the smallest one. She was the size of a bumblebee, and she was made of the heart of a sweet-smelling wood. Nikolai painted each doll's black shining hair and black shining eyes. He painted each doll's red dress and yellow shawl. He painted a fancy flower on the front of each doll's white apron and a smile on each doll's face. So here's Nikolai. This is the snowy village. All right, let's see what happens. You are 6 sisters, he says, as he set them along the workbench in a line, from biggest to littlest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that one's really small, like a bumblebee. And he named each one, touching his finger to the top of her head. Anna, Olga, Varka, Vanda, Nadia, and Nina. Then he tucked one inside the other. He put Nina inside Nadia. He put Nadia inside Vanda. He put Vanda inside Varka. He put Varka inside Olga. And Olga inside Anna. So those are the 6 sisters. Beautiful colors, bright, vibrant. And here he is talking to Anna. Anna had a pedestal base, so she could not fit inside any other doll. She had the fanciest flowers on the front of her apron and the wisest look in her eyes. Goodbye, Anna, said Nikolai, and he kissed her forehead. Keep your sisters safe inside you, and may you find a happy home. Then he sent the matryoshka off to a toy shop in America. On the long journey across the sea, Nina slept inside Nadia, Nadia slept inside Vanda, Vanda slept inside Varka, and Varka slept inside Olga, and then Olga slept inside Anna. Anna kept her shining eyes wide open. So here's Nikolai saying goodbye to Anna. And this would be the ship that's taking the matryoshka dolls from Russia to America. Let's see what happens. She saw only darkness until she was unpacked from her box at a toy shop in America. There were other matryoshkas on the shelf by the front door. Some were bigger and some were smaller. Anna could only guess how many sisters they each held inside. Other matryoshka makers carved 4 or 8 or even 10 dolls, each inside the other. But Nikolai always carved 6, for 6, he believed, was a lucky number. The toy shop owner opened up Anna and set her and all of her sisters in a line, from biggest to smallest, along the front of the display. Nina, the littlest, was on the very end of the shelf, too, maybe too close to the edge. And here's the toy shop owner in America, and he's setting the dolls up in order on the bookshelf. You can see the other matryoshkas in the toy shop as well. All right. Oh, there they are. One March day, the very end of winter, a shopper in a puffy coat brushed against the shelf, and Nina was knocked right off. No one noticed except for Nina's sisters, but there was nothing they could do to help. They could not lift their painted arms to reach out for Nina or open their painted lips to cry for help. Nina rolled to the doorway of the shop, and then, in the bustle of the wind, she was kicked outside by a customer as he left. It had begun snowing, and soon Nina was covered up by snow. Poor Nina. Here she is outside in the snow all by herself. There she is on the floor. But her sisters couldn't do anything. Because they're made of wood, that's right. They don't have real arms. All right, what's going to happen to Nina? In the morning, the shopkeeper shoveled the sidewalk. in front of the toy shop. Nina was shoveled right out to the street. Later that day, the snowplow came and pushed all the snow into a pile. The pile was shoveled up into a dump truck. So Nina was nestled in the snow inside a dump truck, and she only saw whiteness. The muffled sound of the truck reminded her of the ship's engine from their truck from Russia to America, and she dreamed she was on sea again. The truck dumped all of the snow on top of a big pile outside of town. So here you can see little Nina in the snow. This must be the shop owner shoveling, and here's the dump truck full of snow. Let's find out what happens. That evening, the shopkeeper discovered that the littlest Matryoshka was missing. He looked everywhere, but he couldn't find her. So he put Nadia inside Vanda, and Vanda inside Varka, and Varka inside Olga, and Olga inside Anna. And he put the Matryoshka dolls on the sale table. The next day, a little girl named Jessie came to the toy shop with the money her grandfather had sent her for her birthday. She had seen the Matryoshkas on display in the store weeks before and longed for one. But now she found out they were all too expensive. She was just turning away when the shopkeeper pointed out to Anna, "The littlest doll is missing," he said. "So I'll let you have that Matryoshka for half price." So this is Jessie, and she's buying the Matryoshka from the sale table. Jessie had just enough money to buy the Matryoshka. When she got home, she set the dolls along her dresser in a line from biggest to smallest. At night, she put a little ball of cotton inside Nadia so she wouldn't feel empty inside. Then she put Nadia inside Vanda, and Vanda inside Varka, and Varka inside Olga, and Olga inside Anna. And she set Anna by the window so she could look out at the moonlight, the snowy fields, and the star-filled sky. Anna kept her shining eyes wide open, watching for Nina and remembering Nikolai's soft voice. "Keep your sister safe inside you." You think Anna's sad? I think she is. Nina spent the night in the snow pile. In the quiet of the early morning, spring took place of winter, the sun came out, and the great thaw began. The snow above Nina started melting, and soon she could see sunlight. By the next afternoon, all the snow around Nina had melted away. For a while, she lay in a little puddle in a pocket of snow. When that melted, she was carried along in a river of melted snow down the hillside in a stream. Here she is. This is all the ice that melted, all the snow that melted. Nina rolled and tumbled along in the current. She had glimpses of the sky and glimpses of the sandy bottom and glimpses of the rocks as she whooshed past them. A roar in the distance got louder and louder. It wasn't a truck or the engine of a ship. It was a waterfall. Suddenly, Nina was caught in a rush of water, and then she flew off into space and came down in a foaming surf. She was pounded deep in the water, but popped up and was carried off downstream once again. Sounds scary, right? Poor Nina. The stream widened and branched in two. Nina traveled up one fork to an inlet. She floated gently along in a slow current. A great blue heron, back from the south now that the ice had melted, was hunting the shallows. He spotted Nina and snapped her up. When he discovered she wasn't anything to eat, he flicked her away. That's a big bird compared to little Nina. She landed in a cluster of oak leaves on the shore. It was good to be on land again, and Nina was happy that she had come to rest face up so she could watch the darkening sky and the vanilla moon. She thought about Nadia and Vanda and Varka and Olga and Anna. The face in the moon reminded her of Anna's face, round and wise, and she felt comforted. And here she is, resting, staring up at the moon. In the morning, a squirrel came foraging among the leaves. He mistook her for a nut, snatched her up, and dashed off with her in his mouth to his cave. When he saw that she was only a piece of wood, he shoved her out of the nest, and she fell to the roof of the porch below. She rolled down the slope of the roof, into the rain gutter, and then tumbled down the copper drain pipe. So she was up here, and she went down the roof, down the gutter, through the copper rain pipe. Where do we think she is? I'm going to have to find out. A cat dozing in a patch of sunlight in the corner of the porch was startled by the sound. He opened his eyes just as Nina rolled out of the end of the drain pipe. He pounced at her, and when Nina rolled away, he bounced again. A little girl was just coming out of the house. Her eye was caught by the red of Nina's dress. "What have you got there?" she asked the cat as she bent down to look. She picked up the littlest Matryoshka. Oh, it's so small compared to the cat. Does anyone know who it is? "Oh, you found us!" she cried. For the little girl was Jessie. She ran upstairs to her bedroom. She wiped Nina carefully with a handkerchief and placed her in a circle with her sisters so that Nina could see all of them and they could all see her. How they rejoiced to be together again. That night, Jessie removed the cotton ball from Nadia. She put Nina inside Nadia, and Nadia inside Vanda, and Vanda inside Varka, and Varka inside Olga, and Olga inside Anna. "Now your sisters are safe inside you," Jessie said. And she kissed Anna on her forehead. Anna smiled the smile that had been painted on her by Nikolai, the doll maker in Russia, so long ago. So they were reunited. What did you guys think? It's a great story. It's a great story about family and protection and relationships, and it teaches a really great tradition in another country that students don't normally know about.